Hey there, fellow guitar people. Welcome. You know, I made a lot of videos over the years on tips on how to learn to play guitar. Today I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to make a video on what not to do. Let's do this. Hey there, I'm Thomas Michaud from Real Guitar Success. Today is kind of a special day for me, maybe for you too. It's day number 30 of my 30 days of guitar coaching. Yes, number 30. This is a big thing for me. Of course, this doesn't mean I'm going to stop making videos, but it's the end of this 30-day coaching series, so I can take a Sunday off with my sweetheart. So I have a bit of a serious question to ask you. I committed to shaving at the end of the 30 days, and I let my beard grow for all 30 days. Never let it grow this long. What do you think? Should I shave it? Or should I keep it? Or something in between, maybe a trim? Let me know, tell me something in the comments. It's just for fun, but I'd really like to know what people think. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get on with today's lesson. What not to do when learning to play guitar. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Every one of these things that I thought of were things that I had a problem with. And I assume they'll be a benefit to other people. Matter of fact, I know I've talked to enough students to know that I'm not alone in this. But it's not about blaming anyone. In fact, I'm as guilty as anyone. I'm hoping not only can we all learn and grow together, but that my experience over the years can somehow benefit you. And so you don't have to make all the same mistakes. Let's get on with what not to do when learning to play guitar. So the first thing I want to talk about is don't set yourself up for failure and then blame yourself for not being talented. Now you're probably saying, who would do that? Of course not. I said I'm gonna play guitar. I wouldn't set myself up for failure. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've done it many times and I've experienced students do it all the time. Of course, they don't fully realize that's what they're doing, but they do things like this. Now think it out as I say it. First of all, they get an instrument that barely works, and sometimes I'm not even sure if I could say that. The rationale is, hey, I'm not good yet, so I don't deserve or I don't want to spend money if I don't know if I'm going to be successful or be able to actually play anything. You can see when I say it that way, it doesn't really make sense because you've actually created a situation where you're very unlikely to be able to play anything that sounds good. Now, some people overcome it anyway. I did. I had a terrible guitar when I first started, and I didn't even want to let it go. I didn't want to get a better guitar. My thinking was something like a real musician just use whatever they have available. But looking back on it, it was silly. And I get that maybe you don't have the resources to buy an expensive instrument. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about spending an unreasonable amount of money. I'm talking about just spending enough to get an instrument that actually functions properly, not getting a loanie from a friend that, you know, the strings are this high off the frets and when you press it, it sounds buzzing and cuts into your fingers, or something from the flea market that barely works right, or get the cheapest instrument you can find on eBay and then expect it to actually perform when you put hours of your effort into it like a decent instrument. It's not gonna happen. And what's worse, you're probably gonna get discouraged and you're gonna blame yourself. That's what I don't want to see happen. The other thing is trying to learn on your own. Something as complex as guitar can be learned on your own. I mean, there are countless famous musicians who claim they've never had a lesson, but the reality is, most people will not get anywhere without some quality instruction. It just takes too long, especially if you're older like me. So when I talk about winging, I'm talking about just learning from some books or videos or YouTube stuff. A lot of stuff's online nowadays. Yes, there's some good instruction on there, and there's a lot of bad stuff too. But the bottom line is, you don't know what order or what you should be working on at any one time. And there is an order to learning the basics that both gives you a foundation to build on and also helps you feel a sense of confidence. And then there's this whole issue of practicing. Now, everybody acknowledges you gotta practice to learn to play something like guitar, but in reality, I don't think that I got it when I first started out, and I don't think a lot of students that come to me and have been trying on their own really get it. It takes a fairly consistent effort to get somewhere, and I hear this all the time. Hey, I've been playing for 3 years and I'm still not very good. I don't get what's wrong. I said, well, how much do you practice? Oh, I practiced a little bit last week and I practiced a little bit a couple days ago. What? And you're telling me you think something's wrong with you because you're not getting anywhere? No, it takes consistent practice, probably a little bit every day. Now, again, I'm not talking about hours of practice every day. Even 10, 15 minutes, you'll probably see steady progress, and you'll probably get inspired to practice a little more once you get into it. But practicing haphazardly here and there, for most people, it's not going to cut it unless you're somehow exceptionally talented. And that's a very teeny percentage of people. A lot of people could play beautiful music if they just spent the time, got good instruction, and got an instrument that responded when they put in the practice and did what their teacher told them. Time to practice! Okay, I know that was a little dramatic, but I know there were times in my life where I made practicing more difficult than it needed to be. Looking back on it, I can see how much of a disadvantage that is now. If you put your guitar in a closet or even inside the case, it might be just enough to, at the critical moment that you're deciding whether you should practice or not, to dissuade you from practicing and lose a day of practice. And practicing is one of the keys to actually being able to play guitar. Now I tell my students, get a place to practice, even if it's just a little corner in the bedroom. Make it a place so not only do you have all your stuff and the guitar out on a stand, but when you sit down, it's easy and you feel like practicing. I mean, just the fact that it's easier to get started makes you feel like practicing, but you also develop a kind of a routine. Kind of similar to the way you walk in the bathroom in the morning sleepy and you pick up the toothbrush and you don't have to think about it, you just start brushing. When you sit down in your practice spot, after a while, you just feel like practicing. And it gets to be easier and more fun. Another aspect I've come to appreciate is work with the people in your household. One example is my parents used to like to watch a show in the evening, and I'd start practicing my trumpet about that time every now and then. And of course, they weren't happy with that. Well, duh. But I took it as, oh, they're not supporting me. They don't want me to succeed. In reality, I was being unreasonable. And see, that's part of taking responsibility for your own success, is thinking out what's going to work, not expecting other people to just know or to care that you're successful. Not that they don't, but the point is you can't depend on that and you can't control that. What you can control is what you do about it. Hey there. Hey, this next tip is simple yet profound. Don't act and believe like your desire to learn to play music is not important. See, the thing is, it is important, and if you ignore it, it's going to affect your happiness in life, as with anything that's really important to you. If it's not important, well, put your energy somewhere else. But if it is important, acknowledge that and act in a way that's consistent with that belief. Hey, these are some pretty heavy things. Let's take a few-minute break. I'm going to play some music. This is actually the intro to one of my songs, Beauty and Fire. Okay, that was fun. Now, next, don't make commitments to practice that are not realistic. Now, I know this may seem like a small thing to some people in the beginning. Hey, I've got to practice an hour a day, and you don't follow through on that. This is the way that you lose confidence in your abilities to actually do what you commit to doing. Instead, say, I'm going to practice for 10 minutes a day, and then follow through 10 minutes a day. And then you have the confidence that you can do that. Then maybe push it up to 15 minutes a day. See if that's realistic with your schedule. And that doesn't mean you'll never fall off the horse. But at least start with the full intention of keeping that commitment. And then if you fall off the horse, get back on as quickly as you can and show yourself that you can do what you say you're going to do. The reason this is so important is because you're setting yourself up to trust yourself when you make a commitment to be able to carry through and to not carry around this burden of guilt and mushy bad feelings that you're not really doing what you say you're going to do. Nobody wants that, and that's the kind of thing that causes people to lose interest and not want to do it after a while. When you're first starting out, don't put yourself in situations where you're likely to feel discouraged. Now, later on, you can kind of test yourself more, but things that I know didn't work for me in the beginning was telling people I didn't really know that well, or even some that I knew were kind of generally critical, that I'm going to learn guitar and that I'm really excited, and they kind of subtly poo-poo the idea or look skeptical, and then I take it personally. There's no need for that. I would nowadays, going back, I would only tell people that are closest to me or I could count on for support. I know it's difficult, and I know that I'm going to need some encouragement and support in the beginning. The other situation is going out and playing with other people that are much better than you and feeling inadequate. So to be clear, I encourage students to play with other people. It really does help. But you have to be a little bit wise about it. Think about who you're playing with, what the situation is. Are we in the same level? If they are much better, do they expect you to be better than you are? And are you willing to kind of just learn when it's over your head and not get discouraged by it? It depends on where you're at, not only in terms of your level, but where you are kind of emotionally as well. If you know you're sensitive and that you're kind of already a little bit underconfident, go easy. And you can always ratchet it up as time goes on. I really encourage my students to do a lot of playing with play-on tracks in the early stages because it's sort of an experience of playing with other people without the chance of kind of being criticized or feeling like you're inadequate. And sometimes that's tough. That's okay. It's a little bit of give and take, and you take on what you can. And finally, don't blame circumstances out of your control for your lack of progress. Now, why do I say this? Because that makes you a bad person? No, that makes you human, because I've done that and I still do that. But one of the things that's changed is I don't waste too much time there, because when I do, it disempowers you and me to do something about it. So don't blame the people in your household for not encouraging you or not supporting you to practice or making time. Get creative. Think of ways that'll make it work and enroll other people to help you when you can. When you can't, just find your own path. Little by little, when people see you taking action and making progress, you'll find people will come around and support you more. It's kind of amazing, actually. Don't blame your teacher if you're not making progress. If you're not making sense out of the progression that your teacher's doing, ask questions. Ask your teacher. Ask other people. Maybe ask other teachers. Go watch another video and try to get another opinion on it. It might take just a little more patience on your part. Or there might be enough evidence there that you need to change teachers or find another way to learn. But don't let it stop you and don't let it take up your energy, blaming teachers, other people, your lack of big fingers or small fingers or fat thumbs or whatever. All of it just sucks up your energy so you can't find creative solutions to move forward and be the kind of person you want to be, playing guitar and having a great time. This is the end of the 30-day guitar coaching series, but not the end of my lessons and my time with you. I'll be back every Tuesday with a new lesson, my usual schedule, and once a month for my live question and answer session. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.